What's up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to This Monster Wants to Eat Me, this time with episode 2. Looking forward to today's episode. I really enjoyed the first one. I think the premise was really cool, a lot of subtlety in a few of the shots with the kind of drowning scenes. Just an interesting scenario with this. I think someone said it, siren. It was the word I was looking for last week, so thank you guys very much for the comments. Yeah, this kind of sea monster that wasn't who I thought it was. I thought the girl that has spoken to us saying that she wants to be was the same as the monster from last episode, but turns out they were different entities. I'm not sure if they're in the same kind of, they are the same type of monster or not. Again, not massively important at the minute, but yeah, just really enjoyed the premise and the initial setup last week, so hopefully we can continue where we left off today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments though. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. Certainly one of the most promising shows this season for me. I think this was definitely one of the best premieres last week. So yeah, I think this might inevitably be one of my favourites of this season, if it continues like it started. I really loved the pacing last episode. I think that's one of my favourite things. That's the first time we saw her smile, and she said, "Finally, I might be able to die." It's the thing about this, isn't it? It's kind of hard to talk about, of course, being with the nature of what it is. But it does take a lot. Funny enough, they call you a coward for taking your own life, but it does take a lot of courage to do that. I was never in a stage in my life where I was awfully kind of this way, but there was a point when I turned into an adult of like, damn, like when you're like asking what is life, what happens when you die, is it worth like living? And oh, well, there came to the answer, yes. I don't want to get too deep into that, but the anime clan ad really that kind of brought me out of it a little bit. That taught me a really good lesson about life and not taking it for granted. But yeah, you do kind of question that. Is it worth, like, yeah. But being able to do that, being able to actually die, it takes a lot of courage. As again, as ironically enough, as much as people call people cowards for doing it to themselves. Again, I wouldn't say I was very much this way inclined, but I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. I think many people have thought about it. It's just I came to the conclusion, one, I definitely wouldn't have the courage to ever do that to myself. I would never be able to. But two, I've also again found kind of value in life, even if it's not exactly how I expected it to go, or if I was as successful as I wanted to be, and so on and so forth. It wasn't anything to do with loss or tragedy or anything like that. I think that is a bit of a different deal. So I can relate to a certain extent to our main character, but not to a massive degree, I'd say. Where'd she get the uniform? I guess she like enrolled and done all the politics surrounding it, I guess. I was like, where'd this girl spawn from? Do we have like, do she have parents? Like, I do wonder the logistics around this. This is, I definitely couldn't do this, but a bit of like charisma can go a long way. Like a confidence and charisma can really take you far. It can cover things up like that. I was to relate to that a little bit, I was, when I was like 15, 16, 17, I'd always buy me and my friends alcohol and such from the shops, and it was all to do with confidence. I looked over 18, when I was younger, so I got away with it. But sometimes I would get denied, and that was initially when at the start when I was quite nervous to do it. And then you walk in with confidence, pick up some alcohols, and then yeah, it's all just about looking normal. I think we can be on a first name basis, considering we might be doing the most intimate thing. But it's just, I'd say it most intimate thing. That's very serial killer talk. Like from like the little crime shows and stuff I watch, it always seems like our ritual. It always seems very intimate for like the murderer, doesn't it? It always seems very deep. I was looking at a bunch of this stuff yesterday. But yeah, for like, I mean, I'm not. Sorry to pause for a sec. I'm not like she might like. Would you call her a serial killer? We don't know if she's killed other or eight other people before. I assume that she has. I don't think it would quite come under serial killer because she does seem to be this monster transforming thing. But the closest thing we have in humans is like a serial killer, I think, isn't it? Um, so yeah, again, like watching plenty of like documentaries and movies and such on that. Again, it seems like a lot of killers and psychopaths and such seem very empty, seem very yeah, they don't seem awfully fulfilled or anything, but killing people and such things like that does give them worth. It gives them a kind of something special in them. Horrible as that is to say. So I think it makes sense that you I'm not sure you could equate this too much in real life. But maybe again, I'm not awfully knowledgeable about real life scenarios with this. Again, just like the movies and the documentaries, but you would assume this would be quite a deep relationship: killer and killed, murderer, and in this case, monster that's eaten her and victim. Funny enough, it's the same reason people get like Stockholm syndrome. I think there is some kind of like weird, quite deep, but again weird kind of deep relationship between these two people. Um, yeah, I worded that really horribly. Apologies. I didn't even really word that how I wanted to. I don't think I got my point across very well, but hopefully you got something from that. But yeah, in essence, what I'm trying to say here is that it's probably going to be quite a deep relationship, even just right off the bat between these two, knowing them both and knowing the situation they're in. I just think it's an interesting dynamic, isn't it? It looks nice. Can she not eat normal stuff, do you reckon? Purely meat diet. Are your lips and not the ones there, not the ones up top. So she's a yokai, which I've seen a fair few anime with yokai in, and they're always like slightly different. Most of the time, they like can't be seen by normal people. In this case, in like Natsume Yujin show, they like sometimes they can use things to be seen by people and stuff. So we'll see the rules here, but yeah, it varies quite a lot of what I think about yokai, considering depending on what anime it is. So I won't have those. I won't put those preconceived notions in place here. I'll try not to. Kind of like a vampire movie in that way, I guess. Every vampire movie's got different rules. I mean, you could even put that down like the tomatoes and the insects, the pesticides and all that stuff. Like, oh, oh, wrong thing. So is she equating her to a cow ready for the slaughter? So I did bring this up last week, didn't I? Is she trying to get her down to her lowest, her most depressed, and that's like the most delicious tasting meat? I said last week, again on the topic of vampires, with them it's like you want them to feel the most alive, you want their blood to be rushing the most. Whereas with this girl, it seems that she wants her to be as depressed as possible, potentially. Although I say that, you'd think she'd like bully her if she wanted that to be the case. So I don't know. We'll find out, I guess, what that prime time is. But yeah, she is absolutely a cow for the slaughter essentially right now, isn't she? So she can eat normal stuff. So, and this is like genuine as well. I said earlier about like actually being able to do it and such. I think judging off her reaction last week about to get eaten by an actual monster, she still didn't care. So she is absolutely like 100% ready to die. No if buts or like maybes or any kind of questions of that. I don't think. I mentioned this before. Like people will go to do it and then their instinct to survive and such kicks in. With her, we're past that. I think there is no instinct to survive. But I do apologise because I'm not exactly sure who of her family has died. I just know that at least someone in her family has died. I think all of them, maybe. But again, I can't really be sure to be honest with you. Yeah, I got to apologise for that. At this point, I'm just going to assume they're all dead. Who the fuck are you? Oh, that's her seat. Oh crap! Stole your seat. Oh, that's her. Oh, sorry, I mixed the names up there. So she's warming her seat for her. God, I gotta say, the tone difference to these girls is crazy, isn't it? It's like it's really quiet and somber. I gotta actually turn it down a little bit because this girl's so loud. Don't get me wrong, I really like her. She's lovely, but she is loud. Like the volume does increase quite a bit. Oh, that is a terrible seat. When I was a student, unfortunately, I'd always be at the front of the class because I was an absolute bastard, and the teachers had to keep an eye on me. So that's really funny, actually, isn't it? I didn't even really think of this relationship. They're almost like total opposites in a way. This girl trying to keep her alive, trying to keep her living, trying to keep her going, living a normal life, and this girl trying to eat her. They're kind of arch rivals, really, aren't they? Didn't really think of that. It's like the analogy you always get with like the devil and the angel in your head, but physically, right here. And the roles reversed for our main character anyway. The monster actually being the angel to her in this situation. I'm not saying that she's like a devil, but yeah. Again, just like some really interesting relationships here, isn't there? That's the thing with this, isn't it? Like I'd never really experienced this, but I do like to think I'm quite an empathetic person. It would like you see a lot with stuff like this. You get like special treatment, and a lot of the times these people just want to be treated normally. They don't want any special preferential treatment. They don't want any like benefits or anything like that. Um, yeah, I kind of had a similar thing. I was in a car accident when I was younger. I didn't get hurt or anything, but it was with a motorcyclist, and I just remember getting out of the car and seeing a bunch of blood on the floor. I'm not really, to be honest with you, I'm not really sure what happened to him. I don't think my parents ever told me, but I do remember getting out of the car and seeing a lot of blood on the floor. And that was a situation where there was so much fuss being made about me and my sister, who I think we were maybe like 10 at the time or something like that, and the compensation and going to court and stuff. And I really just didn't want any part of it. I just wanted to like get past it, just be normal, just do a normal life, like not make a big deal out of it and stuff like that. So I feel like that maybe relates to a small extent. I mean, again, nowhere near losing your whole family, but I would assume just normality would be nice. You can't ever really have normality because your whole family's gone, so you'll never really be able to have normality again. But like people just treating you differently is just like that would annoy me a little bit. I think stop it. And I'd probably get I probably wouldn't be too good at this situation because I'd probably get a lot of people turn against me. I'd be so annoyed at it. I'd just be like, just act normal, stop fucking giving me preferential treatment, treat me like a normal human being, please. So yeah, maybe you can relate to that a smidge, but yeah. But yeah, I wasn't ever like really affected by that or anything. Um, yeah, in the past. I think I was too young to really kind of realize what happened, to be honest with you. Mm. So why is it? Is it the whole? What makes them tasty? I mean, we can think it's like depression, but is it actually that? I've heard of that one. Um, Not so much in Japanese folklore, but in like horror movies, or virgin girls getting sacrificed. But Jennifer's Body is a really good movie that I like that has that happens. It's a really fun movie. Joe, you probably not sure if you guys haven't seen it. If you like this, it's not awfully similar to this, but if you like this, you probably would like Jennifer's Body. They're not awfully similar, but they're just yeah, something about the two that strike me as you'd probably like this if you like that. because she accepts it. Does, doesn't she? Tell the truth, you know she can read you. She knows. She knows you're bullshitting her as well. Stuff like that is incredibly hard to say out loud, though, isn't it? Like, I only talk about my experiences and stuff because essentially I'm not talking to another person. I know this is going out to people, but it's like I am on my own here essentially, so it's a bit easier to do. But like to say a lot of my like stuff like that to an actual person would be quite a bit harder. Let alone things that affected me even more. This girl's been about for a while, hasn't she? Spirited Away. Yeah, that girl's been stealing her. I know this isn't exactly the case, but I almost see it as like a progress bar, like to death, and then this redhead girl's like survival for her to live, the will to live, the will to die. The will to die is very high at the minute, and the red girl, I think, ever so slightly, maybe like 0.01% is like increasing the will to live bar. The more time she spends with her, but she's losing all that time, so the death bar is going up quite a bit more at a much faster rate. Again, another weird analogy, but bring back depressing memories. Well, fun memories, but will end up being depressing. And there is that, like, that's the reason why I said about the bar stuff. It is like they're like, yeah, forcefully kind of trying to push their progress. But yeah, that was a nice little flashback there. First one with the family, I believe. It's bad. It's horrible, isn't it? I'm sorry. Like she's not just saying sorry. Obviously, she's not just saying sorry because of the festival. She's saying sorry because the way I interpret anyway is that she's seeing her friend Miko again, trying to get her to live normally, to act normal, to trying so hard to again keep that life bar up, and she just doesn't want to. She's like, sorry, I just want to die. I can't do what you want me to do. I can't. Yeah, I think that's why she's apologizing more so than festival. It's just sad, isn't it? You're apologizing because you want to die. Yeah. What would you make of that? Apologizing because you want it to all be over with. A weird thing to apologize for, isn't it? A lot of people say it's a weird thing to want. and couldn't comprehend even wanting to do that. But I struggle with accepting that she's apologizing for it. It's like, I get where she's coming from, but it's not something you should apologize for. Seemed like a really energetic young girl, didn't she? Which is completely different to how she is now. I'm quite similar in that way. I say that again, another thing I can slightly relate to, but I used to love like going out all the time. I very much turned from an extrovert. I wasn't maybe not exactly an extrovert, but quite extrovert, going out, doing stuff, seeing friends, being out as much as possible, meeting new people and such, and very much done a big 180, to be honest with you. Quite a somber, chill, relaxed, like my own time kind of guy now. Whereas before, when I was doing like drugs and stuff, I used to hate being sober. I used to hate being home, and I used to hate being sober. So I'd always go out as much as possible, about drinking, doing drugs with my friends and such, any time I could during the weekdays, during school and such. And yeah, not to say that made me extroverted, but I guess just like doing that stuff puts you in those situations to be, I guess. And then yeah, I done a bit of a complete kind of 180. And I much prefer who I am now, in terms of actually like you care for other people, you care what other people think, much more mindful how you affect other people. Care for myself a lot more as well. She wasn't very happy with that answer. A delicious peak. Yeah, that's interesting. Because with my theory about her sending her into the depression, like this would certainly not be. Well, I don't know. Actually, it could bring up some horrible PTSDs. Such. And what is that? What does that mean? What is the peak condition? Is it not the case where she's trying to get like? So I feel like that's, I wouldn't say solidified, but it is the case that maybe, I don't know. You could see it two ways. You could see trying to get her out and about, and to go through things again and go into that scenario is like trying to get her to live more, trying to get her more doing things rather than just staying cooped up. That could have the opposite effect of making her more depressed, thinking more about the memories of her parents and sending her deeper into a depression. But it could have the opposite effect of getting her out and maybe freeing her mind a little bit, actually kind of addressing more that kind of loss. But yeah, I mean, it could be both ways, but yeah, it's interesting. I don't really know what to make of this. Won't bother sorting out time. I've only got a minute left. Yeah, I'm really not sure what to make of her decision to be, especially so cemented in the fact that we're going to this festival. Feels like she might, like, maybe it's the rush of taking someone like this that is so desperate to die. Maybe it's the case of the delicious part is making them want to live. Like, this sounds fucked up, but I've seen a lot of horror movies. I say that a lot. I preface this with I've seen a lot of horror movies. I've seen this thing before as well in horror movies of like, not exactly the same situation, but taking someone so low down, someone so low in their life, someone wanting to die, making them want to live, and then eating them at that moment, at the exact moment they start wanting to live again. Like it's something horribly poetic of like, the moment you want to live again, you die. That's just how the world is. Something fucked up like that, maybe. I don't know. Again, I'm not really sure what to make of this. Not really sure what to make of her being, especially so demanding that yes, we're absolutely going to this festival. She clearly sees a lot of what our main character here is hiding. You can definitely tell what's going on. I think that's something I have seen again in other media with yokai, that they are good at reading humans. They're good at knowing exactly what's going on with a human. They're getting bullied or whatever. Again, I think back to Natsume Yujin show with that. So she's no fool. She knows what she's doing. It's just I'm trying to understand what she's doing here. She's trying to make her address the past and the loss. She's trying to put her more in that. Yeah, I won't go on about it anymore, but it's just interesting, isn't it? Yeah, another good episode. Another good episode. Like this one a lot. Again, I wasn't even thinking of the redhead friend's kind of relationship with this blue-haired girl. I said they might be opposites and rivals. They might not be, you know. They might have that same goal, but just for two very different reasons. One wanting to end her life at the end of it. One wanting her to live on happily at the end of it. I don't know. I don't know, man. And it's good that I don't know. I like the fact it's quite unknown at the minute, for me anyway. I imagine a lot of people have a lot of different thoughts surrounding it as well. The Sea of Hope. So yeah, like that. Like, is that like, are we trying to give her hope? Are we trying to, again, make her like confront these things? I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Again, I love reading discussions and hearing what you guys have to say about shows, especially like this, that are maybe not massively ambiguous. That they are definitely a little bit ambiguous, but have kind of like lots of interpretation, and not everything's kind of like spelled out. It's just like when a discussion is, yeah, when people have their own kind of interpretation of things. So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But yeah, another really good episode. Again, I love the pacing yet again. It's very slow, and I like that. I really like kind of slow shows that actually focus on the characters and care about them, and show assets and facets of them that that are very kind of just like the reaction, like of her saying no to going to the festival, just like little things like that. It's just like you knew she wasn't going to accept it as soon as you saw her face. Like these tiny little details that are going to come back up in the future and so on, I think are really good. Yeah, interesting seeing again the two friends now kind of meet up, having a bit of a rivalry between them. I think it's really cool. And yeah, another great episode. Do let me know what you guys thought about this one though down in the comment section. Again, let me know some of your interpretation of things. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date with these weekly reactions up. And I'll see you next week with episode 3.